I wanted to get to what Charlamagne said on the Breakfast Club last week or this week that just passed. He was up there and he was talking and he basically said Lil Kim was right. Lil Kim was right on all along when she came up to the Breakfast Club and said that Nicki basically doesn't like when other women get shine. Lil Kim said that she only wants the spotlight on her. And so revisionist history, Charlamagne said that he should have believed her off the rip, instead of dismissing her like we did, back in the day because we were calling her old, we were calling her a hater. She mad that Nicki is more popular. But looking at where we are at now and all the shit that was going on last week, yeah, I'm on the side with Charlamagne. How did you feel about that? I think that we do owe Lil
Hey,
Kim a
y'all
little
are
bit of an
full of
apology. I ain't
shit
gonna
talking
hold you.
about Lil Kim, Lil Kim, Lil Kim. Y'all wouldn't even listen to that lady music. Like, spare me. Spare
What does
me.
that mean though? We cannot want to listen
How
to her
is,
music
how,
and still
because how are you
acknowledge.
going to say, oh, this lady doesn't want to share the space, but she's trying to, overshine or be the top? How can you say that in the same breath while only paying for one artist? You are not, so it's like double speak. If that really was the case, then we would have seen some type of competition. There was none. Y'all were not listening to Lil Kim. Y'all stopped. So don't put that on Nicki.
No, that's not where he was coming from though. That's not where she was coming from. Lil Kim was saying that outside of, their personal shit, that Nicki has an issue with any woman that gets attention. So whether we go back and listen to Lil Kim's albums or not, I don't think her message should be dismissed based on her relevancy in music. Those two things aren't one and the same.
That, yeah, but that message just like, okay. Like, so what? I just don't feel like that's provable. You can see artists that Nicki has collabed with, that Nicki has given shout outs and shine to. Like, it's just say that that soothes your bias that you kind of already have about it. But
I ain't gonna lie,
we're not about
somebody
to
put
act
a,
like
I
one
think it's
person
very
got the facts.
underhanded. I think it's very underhanded. That you, I think people just like rooting for the underdog, especially people who obviously, mm, how do I say this? Y'all are not artists, right? And I think, especially in this day and age, people want to believe that one person is this big bully, this big egotistical bully, and everybody else they're just victims. And I just don't think that that's the case for Nicki. I think Nicki came up when she actually had to work, and this is where, like, for the whole Lil Kim thing, Lil Kim was talented, right? For as short as or as long as you want to say. But back in the day, people actually did work for their accolades, and especially when Nikki did what she did for the longest, I believe, there is going to be some ego. I don't understand why people aren't understanding that. People act tyrannical when it comes to their own issues in life. People don't. It's like people are all of a sudden these humble human beings, but when you sit down and you see people see Nikki, then it's like, oh, she's just a fucking bitch. She's just a bitch who's just so mean to everybody. And it's just like, no, if you were the greatest to ever do it, you've been and you actually did your own work, and now the life is just praising entertainers and not rappers who rap, the things that they want. Like they're I wouldn't like them either.
but you all, but
I wouldn't like. Imagine you a comedian. You make all your jokes. You do this, that, and the third. You gotten Grammys. You've done this, that, and the third. Now it's somebody else who just got people writing their jokes for them. All they're doing is just performing them, essentially. And niggas is saying that they're comparable to you.
sweetest, I
You're
think we gotta recognize when we sound like some old haters,
How was
right?
that
But
hating?
We
how?
gotta. I think we just gotta recognize because in every generation, right? No matter what you do, like the process gets streamlined. The way to go about it gets better, and sometimes it changes. Like that's just life,
Right, but it's
right?
only it's
So
only in female rap, and it's only for Nicki that the elder
no, no.
statesman is like not given this risk. Like the way y'all talk, oh, listen to the OGs, the OGs, the OGs. She's the OG of that arena. Um, I come from the time where I had to be great, and I had to be great consistently. And if I'm seeing mediocrity get praised the same way that my greatness did, that doesn't make me a hater to say, man, this is some bullshit. It just makes me
Yes, it
honest.
does.
No,
And
it
I'll
makes
tell you,
me honest because
because
you would just rather me shut up.
like I said, I relate everything to sports. When you got these old ass niggas that come and looking at the NBA today or looking at the NFL today and be like, oh, y'all niggas was soft because back in the day we didn't even wear no helmets. Like we wore Chuck Taylors on the court and we never got hurt. Like, shut your old ass up, nigga. The
So
game
you're telling
has
me,
moved forward.
so you're telling me, right? Uh, you should be okay when cheating becomes normalized and people should
No, what
move
I'm
on.
saying is that whatever, first of all, I don't understand what people are saying and when Nicki don't get respect. Everybody who opens their mouth about Nicki and her rapping ability says she's the best female rapper of all time and she's up there with the niggas all time too. So I don't know what y'all be talking about when y'all say she don't get no respect. Nobody has ever came out and said Nicki's ass, she sucks, she's trash, she doesn't write her rhymes, she has terrible, nobody's ever said that. So it can only be, so what you're saying is that
They
she,
couldn't.
she is upset that other people are getting shine.
No, it's
And
a
that is
fake
hater
sense
shit.
of shine. No, Rashad, it's payola. Sympathy and payola, when she said that at first and it became a big thing, that's when the industry started to blackball her. She's mattered. She's more upset about what the industry is doing and how they're using other people as pawns versus what she claims people are saying about her when it comes to like her validity. That's the whole thing that people are understanding. The same, kind of like the same Drake treatment, like Drake is getting that same treatment as well. The industry is turning on these so-called folks for whatever reason and using other folks, gassing them up, using bots to make it seem as if their fan base is stronger than what it is, using payola,
And then you
taking
do
streams,
character
buying streams.
assassination and you try to make
But
it seem
here,
like
Correct.
these new niggas is
hold,
better people than me.
hold on, wait,
No, they're
here's the,
worse actually because they're
here's,
And
here's
they
the
believe
untalented
thing
it
though.
and they're
too,
evil.
Kenya.
Hold on,
Them
wait,
people believe it too.
one second, because first of all, payola ain't none of your business, Nikki. That's one.
Are
And
you
two,
kidding me?
hold on, wait.
What?
Hold on, wait. Even with the payola, right? Nobody is even coming close to selling what Nicki is selling. Nobody's even coming close. Nobody even coming close to the fan base that Nicki has.
They
Nobody
gave
is
the
coming.
bitch a
Hold
Grammy,
on.
Rashad.
Hold on. Nobody is coming close to what she's selling. Nobody's coming close to her fan base. Nobody's coming close to her rapping ability. Everybody praises her as being the number one female rapper of all time. So what y'all saying is just factually inaccurate.
That's not true.
It
And you don't know
is.
what's happening
No, no,
behind these closed doors. Rashad,
Rashad,
you don't
Rashad.
know what is happening behind these closed
Cause
doors.
it's good.
What?
Cocaine
No,
is
cause listen,
happening
no, cause
behind
that's,
For
cause
closed
that's the
doors,
Cardi?
point.
sweetie.
For
That's
Cardi?
bullshit. That's
No, cause that's the point.
bullshit.
It's the comparison that you just made, and then for you to turn around and say what you just said. You're saying like, oh, it's an old washed up NBA player, but it's like, no, it's an old NBA player that's still averaging 40 a night, and you got people who averaging 20 coming at that NBA player. You know, like that's the problem. It's like we're talking about rappers, so what are we talking about when you just gave them all them accolades? Like, what are we talking about? Like,
You get it? I get
But
it.
Tony,
Exactly.
Tony, the comparisons, right?
mm-hmm.
Eat one that's just what competition is, right?
But there is no
If I have
comparison.
my
So
fave,
what are we talking about though? But lyrically,
well,
there
what I'm
is no
saying is,
comparison.
hold on,
You can't,
what I'm
as a
saying is,
rapper, we can't put a Nicki Minaj and a Cardi B in the same box. Like, we can't even put them in the same box. Like,
we know that though, Tony.
Cardi B
Niggas keep
waits for
talking about we
somebody
know
to
that.
hand
Oh my
her
god.
raps and then she performs them. She's an entertainer. Nicki Minaj is a rapper. She writes raps and performs them. Like, they're different people. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how are we putting these two people in the same comparison box? One is a
What I'm saying,
performer, one's a
what I'm
rapper.
saying is, hold on one second. What I'm saying is that it's fair because of just this being competition in general. So people are,
No!
hold on, because people are going to compare. There's nobody who can exist in a world of competition and not receive comparison. That makes absolutely no goddamn sense. Right? And so when people do that, that's just what the sport is. But when we're talking about facts, and the things that I named as far as her being the greatest female rapper, as far as her outselling all of the women in history continually still to this day, as far as her tours that she boasts about, as far as everything that's tangible, nobody is coming close. So why do you feel like you have to speak on the quote unquote mediocrity? That doesn't affect you. Why do you
It
feel like you have to
does.
speak on payola? Because you talking about hoes that's getting payola, but these bitches still only doing 40,000. So why does it matter to you?
Because they
If
don't
they're doing
treat
payola.
her. They're not, no. See, this is the problem. You understand ego when it comes to
I get
everything
you on that
else.
part, Rashad.
Y'all understand ego when it comes to everything else. Again, like I said before, you don't know what is happening behind closed doors with these little fucking girls and these small ass goddamn fan bases that got them feeling like they whoever the fuck is that they are. Y'all are seeing her just having fits. At the end of the day, you just see her making her tweets, calling her schizophrenic, seeing her become a bitch, talking about she lying on her damn mama. You don't know what. First of all, y'all don't scrutinize nobody else's character like that. Niggas, Meg Thee Stallion can just flap them loose cheeks together and everybody forgets
Everybody
everything that
forgets
she's
that
done
she's
to
a
anybody.
bitch and a
And
horrible person.
and the
Everything that she
nigga fucker,
is,
she fucked
it's
everybody
only
nigga.
Nicki.
She done sent a nigga to jail over some shit, over some drunk shit that she did to her best friend. She clapped them cheeks together. Niggas be like, you know what? Nicki's such a weirdo. She's just mad because there's younger, tighter coochie bitches that are getting more fucking attention. No, that's not what's happening
That's
here.
a lie because it shows in Meg's sales that nobody give a fuck about. Nothing that Meg puts out will ever sell. So what
Babe,
y'all talking about
we're
is
not
once
denying
again
that.
not
We're not
factual.
denying
But
that.
what
No,
you're saying, no, you said that Meg can shake her ass and niggas forget as if we forget and then go continue to support Meg. No, her music career is essentially over. Niggas don't support Meg.
Niggas
no.
drag
So what
Meg
are we
every
talking about?
fucking day.
I think no. I think y'all are misunderstanding the attention that she still gets. We're not talking about sales here. Hold on. We're not talking about sales here.
Talking
Okay.
about character assassination.
We're
She
There's
talking.
still
a
gets
lot
to
of
walk
hoes
around
that
like
get
she a good
attention.
person.
No, I don't think. It's like maybe it's the lack of imagination that people are having right now. But have y'all met? Okay, let me tell you. Have y'all met the girl who has hella followers? You know, she got like 1.2 on TikTok or whatever the case may be. Have y'all seen that affects their character? Have y'all seen people whose egos are tied to the attention that they get on social media?
Yes.
You've seen that on a small scale. Bitches could have only 10K on Instagram and they believe that they're Kim Kardashian. Correct. So
Okay.
you
But how does that
understand that.
affect him though? But how does that affect Kim Kardashian?
Can you hold on really quickly? I
Okay.
need you to understand the principle of what I'm talking about. So now at this point, you have people who claim that they're trying to do something when it comes to their talent, but they're still getting attention for other things. These people are now having a boosted ego. Their ego was boosted. They're walking around in the industry, still in the music industry, even because you have to look at the followers. The followers that she has is more than the music. Obviously, she's still getting attention, which is her currency. Now imagine her trying to be in the booth with somebody who actually worked hard for the things that they've done, from the talent that they have that has probably not much to do with their sex appeal. That is an issue because that is a conflict of interest in
That was Kenya. Nasty Kenya. What is Kenya got going on?
It was under the phone was under my armpit. I'm so sorry.
So I feel like there's a conflict because you have people who have the ego of Nicki Minaj but don't have the talent, and you're allowed to do that if you just don't mix that with your musical, like, you know, your talents when it comes to the music industry. Because I'm sure Meg Thee Stallion thinks her shit don't stink since diapers, but at the end of the day, you still are trying to work this job where you are at the bottom of the totem pole at. So social media has people very confused.
But when it comes to, and then we're gonna get to Chico or Audra. When it comes to this though, with any profession, there is a level of confidence that you have to have and that you have to exude, and the believability when people listen to your music, especially when we're talking about music, and where I want to believe you. I want to hear you pop your shit. I want to hear you talk your shit. And I want you to feel like you are the motherfucking best. I don't want nobody on no track talking about, yeah, you know, I'm second best, you know, yeah, I'm on the bottom of the totem pole. There's bitches better
We're
than me.
talking
I don't
about
want to hear that shit.
attitude. We're talking about attitude and
Your
how
attitude need to be,
somebody's being
I'm that
treated.
bitch. And y'all
Yes,
hoes ain't fucking
you're
with me.
talking about a facade. I'm talking about if she's truly believe. if someone truly believes that their ego is high, do you really think that they're going to acquiesce and have a humble attitude to somebody and actually collab with them properly?
You know what's
No,
crazy? You and
they're not.
Kenya be picking and choosing when y'all want women to be humble, and that's very nasty. But let's go to Audra, and then we go to Chico.
Okay.
What's up, Audra?
Hey, good morning.
How you feeling?
Oof, okay. Damn, I hate having to agree with Rashad. Why y'all do this to me? Okay, listen, my problem when we have these conversations is that y'all take it from one thing to the next. Are we talking about accolades or are we talking about character, like personality? Because I understand Nikki's point when it comes to payola and the boosting of the numbers and her rap skill. She is above the cut. That's period. Now, when we talk about attitudes or character, that's when shit gets tricky to me. Because yes, we have these examples of her collabing with new girls when they come in, but it seems like there's always a point in time where that shit turns. And then she's not talking about, oh, I'm a better rapper than them, than bitches are on payola. Then it becomes personal attacks. And that's when she have people looking at her crazy, but then everybody's like, no, but she's talking about her rap skill and her accolades, but that's not what the fuck she's saying. So I'm like, what are we arguing? Like, are we arguing for
No, but
her right
my
to be a
my
bitch?
point is no,
'Cause
but
that's
my point is,
something.
Audra, they all bitches. They all bitches, and only one can rap. So now what? Y'all keep trying to make it a Nicki thing. They're all like that, and only one's talented. So now what? So now what?
Agreed.
But what
Agreed.
Audra is
But
saying,
there's one who's
Agreed.
publicly a bit like,
but
okay, if
So
you a
you're
bitch
mad about
behind the scenes.
overtism.
hold on, wait. But I think what Audra is saying is that Nikki, you can feel however the fuck you want to feel about these women, right? And they're not on your level, and they paying and all that shit. But why does it get to the personal aspect? Why can't you just leave it at that? Why can't you leave it, I'm a better rapper than you? Why can't you leave it at, I don't do payola? Why does it have to code to this personal aspect? And now you look crazy.
Because
Now
that's
you
what
Because
look
she
like
she
there's
looks
loses
something
crazy
every
because
undercover.
time.
other people are sneaking and hiding. They were dropping subliminals about the little boy being special and slow for 2 years before this shit popped off. You didn't say anything. Nobody cared.
Everybody
That's
wasn't
not,
doing that. And that's not true. But
that's
everybody
not
wasn't
true.
doing that. But even still, I wish I could find that list that I seen on Twitter. It was a long ass list of the people that they, said Nicki beef with, right? And in these instances, you can still be like, I'm that bitch, because I don't think Nicki should turn her ego down either, because she got the numbers and the proof to back up anything that she talked when it come to music. That's facts, right? But it doesn't have to go to the personal aspect, because now you look bitter.
Would
I
y'all
can
say
say
the same thing about Tupac? He
no,
brought up people sick as cell. He said
no,
he was going,
niggas heard that and said that was the craziest thing they ever heard in their
He
life. Why
still
does nigga do
respected
it?
his Tupac.
and he's still highly revered. Like, they still care
But
about
he didn't
that
do it every
man.
That's
year.
different. It's different.
Because
That's her
he's dead.
song.
He's pushing
Nikki's
Hold on,
gay.
getting the
wait.
boost. Getting
And
the
hold
boost.
on. And Tupac got shot.
She be
What the
tweaking.
fuck is we
It's
talking
different.
about, sweetest?
So,
Stop
Tupac
it.
wasn't taking ads out in
whoop-de-doo.
the newspaper. Tupac was
Whoop-de-doo.
rapping.
Whoop-de-doo, a nigga got shot
No,
5 times.
no. Hold
Jesus
on. It's a
Christ.
rap. No. Y'all love drama. Y'all love drama. Y'all love the tea. Y'all love this, that, and the third. Now all of a sudden y'all got weak hearts. Y'all chest hurt because she lying on her dead mama. No, you did. And it's trifling and no one's talking about it.
Here's
And we
okay.
need to
Here's
talk
my
about it.
here's my number one thing though. You can't marry who the fuck you married and then think you above reproach and that
Oh
you got a
boy.
fucking
No,
right to
Here we
rap.
Oh
All
go.
boy,
right,
hold
hold
on.
on
no,
now.
Hold
Here
You
we
on.
go.
can't marry
no.
a
At
fucking
the end
rapist
of
and
the
then think
day,
you're the moral fucking police.
she's not the moral
Sorry.
police. She's
Audra,
saying,
that is more
She
Yo,
acted
how
this,
misogyny.
that.
are
Hold
you,
on,
yo,
hold on,
this,
hold on,
this
hold on,
is,
hold on.
hold on,
this is,
how are
No,
you?
hold on.
One mic. Let Audra get it off. Then we got Chico. Hold on. Audra, you about to drag us to hell. Go ahead, girl.
I sure the fuck am because Kenya, we had the conversation about Carisha and that fucking letter to Diddy and relating to females and that and your position as a woman. So Nikki can't then be like, I'm a prophetess and I'm above reproach and I'm sending God's people after you and blah blah blah. Bitch, who are you married to?
Yeah, look at Kenya on mute. Nasty.
On
She on
mute.
mute. We got her. Audra, thank you. We got
No,
I thought we was just letting people go.
her. Go ahead, Chico.
I love Audra. I want to be for.
the shit.
Oh, we
Audra,
got her.
I love
What's
you
the
Audra
too,
word,
took
Kenya.
like
I
Chico?
half
really
my
do.
point, but I wanted to go back to the payola thing because that's when I came in, and took a mic. And my thing that I hate when we talk about payola, we act like payola didn't exist for Nicki as well. Payola's always been here. It's an integral part of hip hop, especially when New York essentially ran hip hop via radio. Payola has always been here. You can do your thumbs down, my love, but that's a fact. Funk Flex was known for payola.
She
That's
still
one of
sold
his
her
biggest
CDs.
fucking things.
She still sold. She still
Sweetest,
outsold stuff.
Hold on, wait,
that's not
let her
the
go, sweetie.
point. You brought up payola as if to say payola was the defining part of why she's better. It's not. Her lyricism is a defining part of why she's better. Her accolades are the defining part of why she's better. But if you're gonna bring up payola, understand that payola started before Nicki and is gonna go after Nicki, and Nicki has benefited from payola. So don't act like because all of a sudden other bitches are getting payola that Nicki can now say, well, you bitches are getting payola, so yeah. No, you were getting it too. You were definitely getting it too. You think Deb was just out here doing this shit down at fucking Atlanta radios for no reason? No, you were getting payola too. So don't bring up payola as if it is some fucking gotcha moment, because it's not. The second part of this is we have to get to this point where if we're going to say that a person's ego can make them an asshole for absolutely no reason, then we're going to fall into a very slippery place
I didn't
at
say
some
no
fucking point.
reason. I didn't say no reason.
But that's essentially what it is.
No,
It
I
is
didn't say
no
no
reason.
reason. Mm-mm.
But sweeties, that's essentially what it is. If you're going to say, I rap so good that I can do this and talk like this, no matter how it comes out or how it sounds, you're essentially giving them a pass to be a fucking asshole for no reason. That's essentially what it is. Imagine if when Wayne came out and said, I'm the best rapper alive, if Jay-Z would have spiraled out of control. But he didn't.
That's a good one, cause Wayne was popping that crazy shit back in
Wayne was talking
2009,
shit that he had
2010.
no right to talk at the time that he said it. Was he a great rapper at that point in time? Yes. But Wayne did not have the accolades to talk that talk to a nigga like Jay-Z.
And you know what else?
But
Who
isn't
else
that
did it?
our point though?
No. But the point that what Chico is saying is that he said that, and then the nigga at the top didn't try to shit on Wayne, right? Or act crazy and spiral out of control on social media. This is a competition, so you should feel like you're the best rapper alive. Kendrick, when he did the Control verse, what niggas did? The only nigga who got
But I
sensitive
think
about it
these are
was Drake.
actual talented
Everybody
people
else got in the
though.
Yo,
booth.
But
Everybody
Rashad,
doesn't
isn't there?
really
But wait,
care.
hold
Everybody
on,
else
hold
got
on,
in the
Everybody
booth.
Rashad.
doesn't
Isn't
yo,
there a
care
yo,
narrative?
though.
y'all so
Isn't
wrong.
there a
Y'all so
narrative that
wrong.
Jay-Z was
Y'all so
doing
wrong.
shit that was fucked up
He
behind the
was.
scenes, and
He
that's why
was.
Drake
You're
See,
kept
not.
hold on.
complaining
See,
You're
about
hold on.
not
I
the
him?
don't
type of
pause,
lyrics.
pause,
You're
Hold on,
not.
pause,
wait,
pause,
And
pause.
But
that's
to
why
me,
If,
Drake
to
kept
if
me,
we're gonna
complaining and
wait,
said,
stop,
"This
stop.
is
hold on. One
Rashad."
mic, one
Because am I
mic. Go
forgetting
ahead,
that?
Kenya. Then we got Tony
Rashad,
Dungy.
did that not happen?
No,
Didn't
because that's
Drake say
that's
Busy
trying to
was
marry
fucking
my
with
point to
me?
something else. That's trying to marry my point to something else. And I don't like that, because if we're going to talk what we see versus speculation, then this conversation is going to go in a very weird place. We got to keep these two things
okay, so
separate
we could
from each
keep
other.
the facts, right? Because at the end of the day, you claiming that payola was there before, she wasn't gonna be there after.
That's a
I
fact
think
The
no,
though.
no, I'm
facts are
not.
That's not
Cardi
Hold
shit.
on,
Y'all
hold
speculation.
don't
on.
That's a
gotta
fact.
Oh
bring me
my
before
G,
Nikki. That's
dog,
a fact.
Hold
big
on,
facts.
one mic. Go ahead, sweetest.
I think we could look at the facts of the matter. That can we all agree to a truth, not a fact, that Cardi B doesn't deserve that Grammy.
No, not at all.
Right. So then she does
Invasion
have
of Privacy was a great record, but it was not Grammy worthy.
wait. So for you to make it seem as if she benefited off of the payola, she ain't benefited enough. Clearly. She ain't clearly something behind closed doors or behind the scenes, somebody is going very much against her to then give other people praises that they don't deserve. But when
Right.
someone
So
else,
now we're
so
talking about
someone,
Grammy accolades,
so
which we know isn't only about the music.
no, but no, because no, you're saying is that she benefited off payola. It's not the
Hold on.
same.
Can we hold on?
It's
Hold
not.
on.
Wait.
Hold on. Hold
It's not the same anymore. It's just
on.
not the same. Even if she,
It's not the same at all.
it's
Hold
not.
on. Hold on. Motherfuckers met Nicki Minaj on a
Yeah,
Smack DVD
I'm coming. I
rapping
just
in a
got it up.
pissy fucking stairwell. That's
Correct.
where we met Nicki Minaj at. We met fucking Cardi B on VH1, my nigga. Like, and Nicki was rapping and Cardi B wasn't. Now, I mean, we don't even know what Cardi B was doing, but she wasn't rapping.
She was
That's the point.
drugging niggas.
Hold on. When Nicki talked that payola shit, Nicki is talking about the machine. How Cardi B had the fucking machine. She wasn't a rapper, my nigga. She wasn't at the crib writing raps and got on and somebody said, oh, she could rap that good. Let me give her a record deal. That's not it. So when Nicki talk about the payola, she's talking about the whole machine behind Cardi B, the entertainer, because she's not a rapper. That's what Nicki is talking about. Nicki is
But
talking about
what we're
she
saying
came up.
is,
But what we're saying, hold
hold on,
on.
wait, 1 second,
I gotta
because
There was
A
Rashad
no
Dog,
because this
payola
is,
for
A
hold
Dog,
on.
Nicki.
hold
There
on, wait,
was
I
Because
just
no
want to
you
address.
gotta
payola
let me
for
defend
Nicki.
my
I want
point, Rashad. You gotta let me
I
defend
got
my
you. I just
point.
want to. I wanted to say what A Dog said. In the comments, A Dog said it's kind of like Soldier Boy, being compared to Nas. What I think I'm saying, and I think other people think, is that Soldier Boy was allowed to crank that motherfucking Soldier Boy without the top niggas attacking him and throwing personal shots and saying he a fuck nigga and he only 15 and he a country. No, Soldier Boy was allowed to exist, and not when he went on that run, him and Bow Wow, all that. These niggas was the hottest niggas in the game. They wasn't rapidy rap niggas who had all these motherfucking lyrics, but they still were allowed to exist. And if niggas went personal and started saying personal things about Soldier Boy and how the game is conspiring to let Soldier, like, that shit would be lame as fuck. And so whether Cardi raps or not, she still should be allowed to exist. And if you think you better, then prove it in lyrics. And if you want to throw your jabs, throw your jabs. I'm not saying don't say nothing, but once you start taking it outside of music, you look lame as hell.
What do you mean outside of music? So
But
she can't rap
wait, let
about her
Chico go.
hold on.
Hold on.
She can't
Go
rap
ahead,
about
Chico.
her
Hold on one
purse
second, sweetest.
Wait. I'm gonna let
taking
Sweetest
it out
answer
of
that question
music.
first. Go ahead.
Take it. I don't even understand what y'all mean by taking it out of music. Get the fuck out her tweets, right? Get out her tweets. Get out the posts. She's rapping. I thought you were supposed to use what needs to be said against who the fuck ever. Because when Meg little stupid ass made that little verse about her husband being a pedophile, whatever the case may be, y'all was like, Meg's Law, oh my gosh, she's just such a fucking lyricist, whatever the fuck y'all was fucking dick eating about. Her, like, but she's not allowed. Come on, take it out of fucking music. Bitch, everything she say about anybody, she put in her fucking music. So that's why I'm like, all these
Y'all just don't like her. Just say, yo, I don't
no,
like that bitch.
listen, and
Which
it's
And
very
I'm
that's
clear.
I'm
fine.
not
It's
sure if that's
very
the
no. It's
yeah,
very
I'm not sure if
clear.
that's responding to
But
my
no,
point or
the
somebody else's
fucked up
point.
thing
That's not
about
a
it
point I
is,
made.
fuck the system, right? The music is very clear. The music industry is going against her, right? And if people actually could see that and be a fair individual instead of like not probably liking her approach to things, it's very clear the music industry is going against her for whatever reason that I don't know about. I don't know if she just didn't,
No, it's
acquiesce.
not whatever reason. I can tell you the reason. It's not whatever reason. When we talk about the music industry, and this is why I wanted to respond to Tony, right? So when we talk about the music industry as a whole, as a machine, and I had this conversation in Ten Toes and Rick Space when we talked about Tory Lanez and Megan, and someone asked me, okay, well, I had stated a specific thing about contracts, right? And someone asked me, well, how do I know that? And I'm like, because I have sat at one of these tables, right? So when we talk about the industry as a whole and why they manufacture these things, right? Okay, beef is always manufactured. It's always manufactured. That's a thing that we can go back. If you go back and look at old beef DVDs, you can trace where things are manufactured at via labels, right? And the same thing that is happening to Nicki right now, which is undeservedly happening to her, is the same thing that happened when she and Kim had her issue. It's nothing more than labels saying we want to create this level of competition that we're going to mask as something else in order to put one old dog out to pasture while bringing a new one in to make us more money. That's what that is. I'm not saying that she is wrong for her feelings. I'm saying the way that she addresses it is weird because you should know by now, being where you are, how this works. 50 Cent gave a great breakdown on this when he talked about what he tried to do for Chameleon, and Chameleon didn't understand at the time. 50 understood the industry. He understood if I create a fake something with a nigga, I can get his numbers up. Because that's what the labels are looking for.
So you think Jay-Z and
And
Nas was
even
beefing
then
over
now,
what?
hold
So Jay-Z and Nas
on.
was beefing because the record label told him to? And not because that nigga was fucking his baby moms?
No, what I'm saying is it amplifies it. Because think about this, right? Diddy at the time, or rather, and this might be me going to, against what I said earlier, a little bit of speculation. Diddy claimed he never wanted Biggie to beef because it fucks up potential money when it comes to the streets. Cause street shit can go in a different direction. What he realized was ultimately the parent labels don't give a fuck about that shit. And they never have. They don't give a fuck if niggas die behind this shit because they know they can pluck another dumb nigga from the hood and put him in front of a microphone and start the shit again. It's the same shit. That's why when we go and we talk about these contracts or we talk about the industry as a whole, right? And I bring up contracts. There are certain things in contracts that I've seen personally with my own eyes
That's a scary word over here,
that
Chico. I ain't gonna hold it.
target other artists. I've seen it with my own eyes. And I'm like, well, shit, that's a weird thing to look at. Why would you even think about signing this, my nigga? Cause you don't know this nigga and they gonna make you beef with a nigga. That's weird as fuck. But that's what sells. We just watched it sell. It just sold out a fucking tour. Think about what I'm telling you. Beef just sold out a fucking worldwide fucking tour. Was the album great? Absolutely. It was. But I truly believe in my heart we don't get that album with that energy if he does not beef with Drake.
Yeah, and so that's why I
I'm
don't
saying all this
understand
to
like
say Nicki
the
at the point
vitriol.
in time that she is in her career, she knows better than the shit that she's doing right now.